Hey all you Minties, this is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today join me as I take an advanced look at some of these collected editions from DC in the fourth quarter of 2020. So, please stay tuned. And welcome back all you Minties. Now, before I get started, there's a couple things. Number one, I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Brooks Loves Books. He is the guy that does all this fishing for us. This is from the Penguin Random House. It's a little bit different than the hashtag catalog that Marvel uses. So this is what DC uses, and this is the stuff that he was able to find. So we're going to be talking about deluxe editions, absolutes, and omnis in this episode. Coming out in the fourth quarter. Of course, some of these might change the date when they come out. Or, knock on wood, they may get canceled. I don't know. So I know a lot of you know about, of course, Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 1 reprint, Absolute Swamp Thing Volume 2 coming out, the J-Elite Omnibus Volume 2 still coming out. So these are some that have just appeared in the last couple of days. So I've separated these by the dates they're coming out. So we're kicking it off with August 25th. They have Shazam by Geoff Johns and Gary Frank Deluxe Edition. And I'm sure this is the stuff that was collected in the New 52 backup stories. We've had a standard size hardcover, but this is a deluxe edition, meaning it is as tall as an omnibus, not as thick though, because this one has 224 pages, retails for $34.99. Then we have Absolute Dark Knight. So, stay with me. I know this is a book that has been rumored to be reprinted for, I want to say 2 years now, but it looks like the new date they have is September 8th. And it still retails for $99.99. By the way, I'm putting the content of the book somewhere, so just keep an eye out on that. Hopefully a little more legible than my handwriting that I've been using lately. For you all that have suggested that, thank you. Also on September 8th, we have the Batman by Paul Dini Omnibus. Now this is one that when they canceled the Batman Hush Omnibus, I thought, well, maybe DC will make and give us a Paul Dini Omnibus, and sure enough they did. However, if you own the Batman Streets of Gotham trade paperbacks or the standard size hardcovers, you may want to hold on to those because this is all Paul Dini centric. So some of those stories, some of those issues are not in this collection. So you're going to have a lot of orphaned issues. But we're going to have everything that he did all in one omnibus though. $125, 1,056 pages. September 22nd, we have Batgirl, the New 52 omnibus. So they canceled Batgirl Burnside, and this is the stuff that precedes it, so maybe they'll wait for sales of this to see if they can justify re-soliciting that one. So this is the Gail Simone run. This is top-notch. I didn't believe that Barbara Gordon should go back to being Batgirl after years of being Oracle. And I'm still on the fence about it. But if there was one person that was able to pull it off, it is Gail Simone. Alright, next up we have one that I'm very excited about, the Batman Night Out. This is a Chuck Dixon collection. It looks to be hardcover edition coming out September 29th. And it looks like it might be deluxe hardcover based on that price of $39.99. But this collects stuff after the Legacy crossover event, and it looks like 703 to 715 and a couple of other issues. So it's kicks off with the Final Night storyline and then the Night Out story. So that stuff has never been collected. I'm very excited for it. Interesting they're going the oversized hardcover way instead of a trade paperback or a big thick trade, but at least we're getting it. Mr. Miracle is getting a deluxe edition, and that one comes out on October 13th. It looks to be the same page count, 336 pages, but it's $49.99. And I've done an overview of the Batman White Knight, and that was retail for $49.99. So this might be the new standard price for deluxe editions. I don't know. Looks like we are getting the Sandman Books of Magic Omnibus Volume 1. This one is $150, has 1,536 pages, but just check out all that content. So I'm excited for this one because Books of Magic was one of those series that not a lot of people read, or I think the really hardcore Sandman fans went and sought after, but not a lot of people ended up reading it, so I'm glad that they're finally putting it all in one book. And that one is on sale on October 13th, as well as Batman Volume 1, Their Dark Design. So this looks to be like the new series by James Tynion and Tony Daniel after Tom King leaves. It is labeled as a hardcover with 208 pages. And that's really all we know about it. I don't know. It might be standard size. Probably will be, but that's all I know so far. Now, if you watch my most wanted DC Omnis, you know this has been on there, and that is Road to No Man's Land Omnibus. It collects a huge lot of stuff. So 1,248 pages coming out on October 20th, and it retails for $125. Surprised that we didn't have the Contagion and Legacy first, but that's okay. We still have a lot of great Batman stories to collect in Omnibus format. So they're going to go with Road to No Man's Land. Hopefully that'll lead us to No Man's Land. And then we can have War Games. We can have Contagion, Legacy, all these other wonderful Batman stories. And maybe some post-crisis Batman. On October 27th, we're getting this book called Time Warp, Doomsday Tales and Other Things. $39.99, 280 pages. That's one that I find really interesting. It's an interesting collection to have in hardcover. Lucifer is getting a volume 2, so I've done an overview of volume 1. This one collects the remaining issues on that run. This is Mike Carey's Lucifer, $125, 1,040 pages. And yes, continuing a second volume, we're getting Injustice Gods Among Us, volume 2. November 3rd. That one retails for $125. Yeah, bring that. I love the first one, and I know some people said that by year 5 or 4 that it took a dive, so I'm willing to find out myself, because I enjoyed the first one. One book that a lot of people were worried about that was taken off, but it looks like it's back on the catalog, and again, I want to remind people it still does have a chance. Any of these books have a chance of being canceled, so take it with a grain of salt. You have Superman, the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 7. 816 pages, $125. Now, at this moment, I'd like to remind everyone to please hit that like button if you haven't yet. And you haven't subscribed, please get yourself subscribed and ring that bell for notifications. Don't forget to check out our Redbubble, and we are also on Patreon. Moving on to Black Adam, the Dark Age Deluxe Edition. Coming out on November 10th. This is a book that has been long out of print. It only came out in trade paperback. It's a freaking awesome story by Peter Tomasi. I think it was right after 52, the weekly series. But anyway, collecting all 8 issues of that miniseries, $29.99, and then it's a deluxe edition. So maybe deluxe editions are $49.99 after 12 issues or more. Wonder Woman, the Golden Age Omnibus. This collects a lot of that stuff that people have been wanting for a long time to start wrapping up the Golden Age Wonder Woman stories. This is interesting though. 688 pages, $150. Must have been a hell of a restoration process on that one. Alright, moving on to this interesting book, Batman by Tom King and Lee Weeks, Deluxe Edition. I got excited when I saw this because it was 368 pages. This one comes out on November 17th. As well as the Wonder Woman Golden Age, Volume 5. But looking more and more into it, it looks like it's just a collection of stuff that's already been in the Deluxe Edition, Volume 4, and will be in Volume 5, as well as the Elmer Fudd story. So, I don't know how I feel about that one. I wish that we would get more Deluxe Editions from the Rebirth years. On November 24th, we have Legends of the Dark Knight, Jose Luis Garcia-Lopez. Yes, that guy is a phenomenal artist. So you get a lot of this stuff from Gotham Knights, DC Comics Presents, Best of the Brave and the Bold, Brave and the Bold. And this one retails for $49.99 and has 468 pages. Taking us to one that is just labeled, and I'm going to make a prediction here. This one's called Robin Unmasked. So looking at it, it is $99.99. It's a hardcover, but the content says collecting issues 121 to 125. Now, looking at who did this is the Bill Willingham run. This is when he was he actually finished out Robin before Infinite Crisis. So I'm thinking it will collect his entire run. And his entire run was 121 to 147. It's not labeled as an omnibus. It's not labeled as a deluxe edition. All we have is the name Robin Unmasked. So hopefully it will be 121 to 147. But it has 744 pages. It comes out November 24th. So Perhaps that's what it is. New Teen Titans, continuing the Omnibus format with number 5, $99.99, 744 pages, coming out on November 24th. By the way, this isn't everything. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stuff. This is just the beginning of these books just trickling in, if you will. International symbol for trickling. Nightwing is getting an omnibus, but it's not the one I was hoping for, but that's okay. This is the Nightwing New 52 Omnibus. 832 pages, coming out on December 1st, $99.99. This collects Nightwing, the New 52 series by Kyle Higgins. That leads up to the Grayson Omnibus, if you have that. Justice League by Scott Snyder, Book 2 Deluxe Edition. So we're finally getting confirmation that we're getting issues 14 through 28 in deluxe format. $39.99. And has 376 pages. This episode is sponsored by CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that, as they say, is that. These are the books that are coming out in the fourth quarter. Again, the dates might change. Some may get canceled. What are you excited from this list? I was hoping to see Man of Steel Omnibus and Booster Gold Volume 2, but that's just me. Yeah, but out of this list, what are you most excited about? Me, it's got to be that Batman Road to No Man's Land. That's one of my most wanted omnis, so I'm glad that they decided to do it. So please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave those in the comments down below. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.